Welcome, ladies and gents, and today I'll be showing you how to build the interior of the house that we built in the last tutorial. Before we get started, take a look at the list of materials that's on screen right now if you're building this in survival. Alright, so let's start off where we ended off last episode, which was that we completed the exterior of this house. If you guys want to know how to build it, you guys can click the link at the top of the video that should be on screen right now to go watch how to do that. But let's start off in the basement or front door right here. And we are going to start off by grabbing some deep slate tiles, smooth basalt, and deep slate. And we're just going to go and place some like so on these two corners right here. So again, it's pretty random. It doesn't have to be perfect. And these two corners right here. So we can do something like this, that. And then on these two corners here and here. So just like that. And then the next step, we're going to grab some stone brick slabs and some smooth stone slabs. And we're going to go ahead and just place a stone brick slab right here. And then you can replace your door. And you're just going to create this kind of like a grid pattern. This for the rest of the floor. So obviously you might want to dig this out first and then put it down. But the idea is that you create something like this for the entire floor. So all the way here and in there as well. So I'll get back to you guys once that's done. All right, so now that the floor is in place, you can grab your moss carpet and green carpet, and we are going to go right to this line, so in line with the deep slate column that we placed earlier. And we're going to be centered with this wall back here, so the cobblestone right there. And so I'm going to start right here by placing some moss carpets here and do this kind of L shape, go back one, and then up two here, and then one more back here and wrap around there. And then the rest we are just going to fill with the green carpet right here. So something like this. And I'm just going to place some torches down so you guys can see this better. Now we're going to move on to this wall right here. So on the center here, we are going to place a crafting table followed by two furnaces on each side. And then we are going to go with our crates. Just do something like this. So that's, and then I want to grab a, I think it's like a stone cutter. God. Yeah, there you go. That was right. So you just want to place that wherever you want. You can place it like this if you want. That's fine too. And then on this side, you will place some blast furnaces. So just a bottom row. So 1, 2, and then here we're going to place a smithing table and then 2 more. And then another row up top here. And then on this end, we're going to place a cartography table right here. In this room, we're going to place some barrels, just like so. Pretty much 3 high, I guess. And then just along the walls here. That. Here we're going to come back to this wall after. On this side, we want to place some chests. Those up. And just a full row of chests. Again, it'll be 3 blocks high. So just fill up this wall up to the end here. So just like a 5x3 rows of chests. And then on this wall, we're going to place 2 columns of barrels like so. And then with your oak wood planks, you want to come in and just fill up top or the ceiling, I guess, of the area. So you want to go around the whole floor, I suppose. Like this. Wrap around. Here we're going to keep going under the tower back here. So something like this. And then just go underneath the cobblestone. Going around the door here. and all the way to the front tower here, like so. So you want to fill in this area with your oak wood planks. I'll be back when that's done. Alright, so now that you've placed all of your oak planks down, let's get some lighting in here. So we'll start off in the front entrance. You just want to place one in the middle of this 3x3 right here. Over here, take this torch out if you have one there. You can place a chain down and then a lantern right here. We're going to go over to this corner right here. You're going to place another chain and a lantern. You're going to center yourself between these two windows. So in line with this one, in line with this one. Stare right up. And then put a lantern down there. And then in this corner as well, we're going to go right in front of this last nook right here. Place a lantern and a light. So that's it for this area. Over here, we're going to be in line with this pillar again. Stare right up. Center of the room. You're going to be centered with this right here, your cartography table. And then you're just going to go to the edge of the carpet, do the same thing over there. And then in this corner, center of the tower again. So in front of the two windows, in line, boom, look up, right there. In this area, just in front of the middle row of chests, just like that. And then you can take off whatever lighting that you had beforehand. So that's that. Now let's get some details going. So we're going to start off by putting some spruce trapdoors on the ends of these blast furnaces, like so. And then some smooth stone slabs to act as a shelf right there. For our cartography table, we're going to place down 6 item frames, and then you can place whatever maps that you have right there. And then just frame it up with some trapdoors, like so. Off these 2 at the bottom, 2 more right there. Let's get a slab, spruce wood, right there, and then you can place a button right there if you want. So then you kind of have a frame like so. On this area, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a shelf for the top barrels right there. And then on the edges, we're just going to place more trapdoors. Now, let's move on to this big area over here. We're going to place some dirt like this, and then some water in that corner. We're going to do the same thing over here with an L shape. So your lantern should be above this dirt block, then more water down there. And then on this area, we're just going to do a corner like this, again, with water in that corner. So then we can grab a hoe, carrots, potatoes, and some weeds. And then you can plant whatever plants that you want, just to kind of act as a crop field, I guess. And then to cover up the dirt sides, you can grab your spruce trapdoors again. Just kind of create them up. And that. So that's it for the main floor. The last bit of detail that you might want to do is grab some stairs. So just some deep slate tile stairs, and we'll grab some polished deep slate stairs, and just go ahead and place some upside down stairs in these 2 corners and here as well to cover up the basalt. So next step will be the stairs to go up to the main floor, or the second floor of this house. All right, so to go up to the second floor of this house, we're going to take our oak stairs and our oak planks. We're going to start off 3 blocks away from this window. So 1, 2, 3, and then just a oak stair right there with an oak plank behind it, and an upside down stair right there. And then we're just going to go all the way up. So there's a oak plank right there, and upside down stairs like that. And then here, We're going to look up as soon as we're on this oak plank. Just look up and start breaking the planks. And then right here, just going to place an upright stair. Now for this area, we are actually going to break some of this wall. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 in diagonal, and then break all of these all the way around until we get to the other side. So we'll have 1, 2, 3. So the same thing. And then we can go ahead and break this up to this height right here. So in between these two windows, so we'll have 1, 2. And then right here, we can place another layer of oak planks. And then we're going to do the same thing on this floor right here. So the final step for this staircase is to place some railings. So we're going to go on this side right here, and we're just going to place 3 jungle wood trapdoors like that. On this side, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, we're going to kind of do the same thing. It's a bit tricky, but essentially you just want to go all the way around. And then here, we're just going to match those stairs again. So it's 1, 2. Then you can remove this. So you should have something that looks like this. And then to go upstairs, you should have removed these blocks. Now, this should be filled. It's just a way to get up there. But you should have this massive open area. And actually, we can go ahead and do the same thing for this tower, where we just break those 10 blocks like so. All right, so now we're on the second floor, and let's get finished with these stairs so that we can move on to the actual details of the build. So we're going to start off with the railing of the first set of stairs that we had. So we're just going to place 2 trapdoors like so, and then another 4 go around, and then 1 on the end right here. And then here, it's up to you. I left it blank, but you can place some trapdoors in the back there as well if you want. Now let's move on to these other stairs. So we're going to start off with our stairs, and we're going to replace this torch actually right here with a stair and then a plank and some upside down stairs. Should go 3 all. This. Once we get over this hole right here, we're going to place a plank and then some more stairs that will go all the way up like so. And then as we walk up, we will start breaking 4 holes as well. You can place a upright stair right there. And then that should get you to the 3rd floor. I'm just going to replace this with a plank now that we have access up here. And we're going to repeat the same thing. So we're going to go right here. Then plank, upside down stair, 3 wide, 3 tall if you want, and then a plank, and then some more stairs like so. And then same thing as we did for that floor. As soon as we hit this plank, look up and break these 4 planks, and then an upright stair there. And I actually forgot it's an upside down stair right there. So that'll be it for this. And then we can place our railings as well. So for this one, it's a bit tricky because we'll have some stuff over here later. So we're actually going to go over this hole, place a trapdoor like this. In the back here, this one's regular. So just on the plank right here. And these ones are normal as well. So you'll have this kind of indent over there. And then same thing right here where we don't do anything. So now we're going to move on to this edge right here. So we're going to place 1 trapdoor there and then follow the upright stairs. So something like this, all the way up like so. And then on the other side, we'll do the same thing, except here we'll have 2 high. Here we'll have 2 high as well. And then we're following the upright stairs. Boom. So here, put 1 more. I can. Yes, I can. Something like this. And there you go. So that's the railings for the 2nd floor. We can go ahead and plug this hole if you add it there as well. And then we'll come up here to finish up this entire room at the end. So now you should have your staircases like so. And then we'll do the same railings that we did on the 3rd floor of this tower. So one there, one here, not that one there, something like this. And on this side will be the same thing. Something like this. This is a pretty tight corner, so kind of tricky. And then again, all the way up. It's upright stairs. And that's it for your stairs for this entire tutorial. I mean, we'll have some ladders on this end, but that's all the stairs that will be in this build. Alright, so before we get started on the details, I figured we could fill up these walls, ceilings, and yeah. So we'll get started by grabbing our planks, and we're just going to fill up these holes and leave this one alone. So this corner here, that's going to be filled up. This, we can place something there. This corner right here. And this corner right here. This one can be left alone. So the next step would be to grab our smooth sandstone and birch plank sand. And I think the other one, yeah, stripped birch wood if you really want to. But this wall here is going to be covered up. It's not the end of the wall. And we're actually going to place some trapdoors here. Then we can place some paintings of your choice, really. I'll go for like a 2x2 here. Perfect. And then some 1x1s. Top and bottom. Just something like this. Here we're going to do the exact same thing. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want access to that barrel. Sorry. And then, so 2 trapdoors, top and bottom. And then here I'm just going to go for 3 different 1x1s. Something like this right there. And then this wall here can be plugged up. It's going to be covered up, so it's not the end of the world if you don't want to do like a radiant or whatever. And then this one can be just a little bit different. But that's it. Now for the ceiling, you want to grab some oak planks, and we're actually going to remove this layer of tower. We're just going to fill it up with some planks. Then we are going to go here to this corner. We're going to grab our upside down stairs, and we're going to go 4 out. And here we're just going to build this up and keep it going all the way down. So here we're going to meet this up. We'll have something like this right there. And here we will have area capped off some planks. So for this area here, we're actually going to build this up a couple more blocks. So, and then we're going to take our planks and just fill it up. Okay. That has to go there just fine because we'll grab our stairs and just keep wrapping around. So you can actually remove these blocks if you're conservative with your planks. It's totally fine. They don't need to be there. So something like this. And then for the rest, we are going to continue this kind of wrap around. Something like this. And like that. Yeah, let's put it like this. And then we're going to place a row of planks like this. And then the rest is a lot more simple. Oops. So we can actually go fill up the rest of this area at this height. All the way around here. I'll just do the perimeter so you guys know exactly what to do and fill up. These 2 blocks can go as well. So this whole area, the village outside. But this area as well, all the way up here. So you can fill up this entire zone with planks as well. Alright, so now that we've placed all these oak planks, let's get started with the lighting. So we'll just grab some chains, go to this corner of these stairs, skip this block right here, place some 2 chains down, 1 right there, and 2 lanterns. Here, we're going to line ourselves up with the middle of these 2 windows. Once that's done, just place 2 chains. That's not centered right here. 2 chains, and then in diagonal, we'll just place 1, and then 3 lanterns, like so. We'll move on to this window right here and the left ledge. And then we're just going to go 4 blocks in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Look up, place a chain and a lantern. Then from there, we're going to go 2 blocks this way and 1 block to the left. Another chain and a lantern. For this area here, we're going to go in line with these 2 pillars. And then look up, or chain lantern. And then in this area, same thing, just in the middle. Boom. So that's it for the lighting. Now let's move on to some furniture. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is grab some dark oak stairs, and we're just going to place them against this window. Skip this block here, this one there, and 1 here. And then 3 more, like so. We're going to take our white stained glass, place them 3 down, and then some black carpet on top. On top, I said. There we go. And then we can go ahead with our dark oak trapdoors, place 3 down behind each of chairs that are visible. And then same thing with the item frames, just something like this on each side of these stairs, act kind of like an armrest for these chairs and couches. So something like this. And then we're going to grab our red carpet and just go 3 wide in front of this stair. So we're going to skip the first one, and then 3, then 4. Just something like this. And then we're going to walk over to this edge here. And we are going to go 2 wide, starting with this pillar here. And then go all the way until you hit this, or the last layer of sandstone. So just like that, right there. And now let's move on to the kitchen and dining table. So let's move on to this dining table. So we're going to go in line with this first strip of sandstone. We're going to skip the first block of oak, and then we're going to place an upright stair and upside down one. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side, if it'll let me go. And then we're going to skip every 1 block for 2 more blocks. And then we'll do the same thing on the end. So this, and then there'll be another dark oak stair there. And then we can place 6 slabs to connect these 2 upside down stairs. Now, let's grab our dark oak trapdoors, and we're going to place them 2 on top of each other behind every upright stair. So this will be like the backrest of our dining chairs. Something like this. And that. And then we can place our armrests again, which will be item frames. Something like this. The way each chair, perfect. And then you can take some heavy weighted pressure plates as plates for our guests, and then you can place some cakes down if you wish. Now let's move on to the kitchen area. So for the kitchen, we're going to wrap around with these beehives, and then we're going to place a cauldron right here. Fill it up with water if you want. So I'm actually going to take out these things because we don't need any more. So you can fill it up with water, place your lever, you can flick it down to act like a faucet, and then we can place some sea pickles, act like cups, and same thing with these guys, the blue candles. And then we're going to do an island, so we're going to go to right here. Then if we have our buttons, we do. You can place them on either side, and then on every side of these beehives, except these 2 corners, because these will be swapped out with smokers we have in my inventory. So it's just something like this. And then you can place some more sea pickles here if you want. That's it for your kitchen area. So now we'll do the fireplace, and then we'll move on to the 2nd floor or 3rd floor. All right, so let's get started on this fireplace. So we'll start off by placing some campfires down here and here. And we're actually going to extinguish that one, and we'll come back to that later. But we want to start off by placing our stone bricks. So, and we can actually remove these 2 red carpets there as well. And then we're going to place two stairs like this, and an upside down stair right there with a iron bar to block off the campfire. Then we want to take our stone bricks, go 2 blocks high, one right here. And we're actually going to bring this up to the ceiling. And 2 more stairs like this, and another one right there. And that's it for your fireplace. So now over here, we have our pile of logs. And we're just going to place an oak wood right there, or an oak log. And then top it off with some spruce strap doors and one on this end here. I'm going to block this off. And then here, we're going to open it like this so that it kind of looks like it's an open shelf. And then for this area here, this is going to be a bit tricky, but essentially we want to put down some trapdoors that will kind of separate this area there. We're going to just fill up this area as well. And then we'll do the same thing here. So it kind of acts like a divider for this area. And then we're going to place our ladders on this end here. We're going to take out this block and another ladder right. And up here, you can actually some of these blocks. So you'll see that we have a little bit of an area, which we'll come back to soon to build out the bedroom of this house. Now if we go back down, the last bit of detail for this floor is actually going to be in this corner. So we're going to go get a hopper, 2 peas, not or 1, and some leaves. So any leaves that you want, really. And just place down some leaves like this, just to decorate that a little bit there. So now we're going to grab our oak planks, and we'll just fill out this top corner as well. Just something like this. Now you might want to leave a torch up here, maybe not 4, but at least 1 so mobs don't spawn up here. But we're just going to close it off like this. Then we are going to leave this like that. And let's get started on the 3rd floor. Alright, so now that we're up here, this place is going to need a lot more love than the rest of this house. So let's start off in this area right here, where we can place a chain and a lantern. And then we'll do the same thing that we had downstairs. We'll place a small divider here. And it's just some blocks like this. There. And then we'll actually place 2 more here with an oak wood stair. That. Then we'll go 6 along here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And then along this wall, we're actually going to fill in this right here. And you'll see that we're starting to have a wall here. So we're going to take our smooth sandstone. We're actually going to start filling up this wall. So just along here, we can actually leave this open. But you might want to place like a black wool there just so that it blends in with that corner. Then up here, we'll do 1, 2, 3. There. So something like this. And then we want to go down this wall here. Fill up this stuff, or this hole right there as well. We're going to leave a 3 wide gap here. Go this. Then up here, this will actually go 4 high. Then we'll place a upside down stair like so. And just go all the way, all the way down here. Something like that. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Start going so. There we go. Then all the way down here. Got something like this. And we can pull up this block right there. And then for this area here, we'll grab our smooth stone stairs. Just place an archway like this with 3 blocks up top and a lantern here and a lantern right here. So now we can go ahead and take out this torch right there. And we can actually place a little bit of a carpet. So we'll do 5 down here, just like that. And 1 in front of the archway here. Now to finish off this area, you can grab some paintings, armor stands, and some chests. Place an ender chest here, a regular chest there, and then if you want, you can place some armor stands there with armor and everything. And then here we can just place a nice 2x1 painting. Perfect. That's it for this area. So now we can move into this bedroom. All right, now for the bedroom, we're going to start off by grabbing our smooth sandstone, and we're going to go fill up this wall here. So with a 5x5. So we already have the 5 down there and then the 5 up here. Just going to fill this up. And before we close this area off, you might want to again light it up so that mobs don't spawn back here. Something like this. Here we're going to keep it going, so filling this stuff up, and you might want to light up this area as well. Some mob won't spawn back here either. Fill this gap up. Same thing up here and up here as well. So now we can go with our oak planks, and we can fill this up for the roof. And don't forget to light this place up as well. Off. Perfect. So something like this. Now we'll start off on this corner right here. So we can actually place a spruce door, that. And then we'll go ahead and place trapdoors. You fill out that little archway. So now we should have something like this from the outside. Now up here, we're going to place a smooth sandstone stair, followed by three smooth sandstone slabs, and then get like that. Just to close it off, we will have some barrels here, and we'll leave that be for now. We will have, I just put some glazed terracotta, whatever color you want this room to be, but it's the same color. So I have cyan. I'll just place some cyan stuff down here, and then grab some different stuff just to decorate with. So we'll just place some dark oak wood there with some warped hyphae right here. So again, 3 tall as well. And then we're going to connect all of this with some warped trapdoors. So we'll go 3 tall here, and we'll just wrap around like that. And then we can place some flower pots with some warped roots, candles back here, actually light this up for extra lighting, and a lantern here. That's it for that area. And then we can actually, oh, I forgot, we can place some more trapdoors here. And then if you want, and if you have it, you can place some coral and the tube ones. There we go. Kind of act like a carpet for your bed. Now let's do the desk. We'll go right here. So you want to place 2 dark oak woods there. Of course, I put everything away as I should. There we go. So we're going to start off with a lectern in between these 2. And then you can actually grab a book. Perfect. You put it in. It's awesome. Place a sign here. There we go. And we will place some trapdoors all around these wood blocks. Just like that. Place, again, some warped roots and lantern. And then we will just build the chair. So chair, that, some item frames. Boom, boom. Trapdoor behind it. That. And then we can place like a calendar up here. So just grab a block of bind just to close it off. Painting, boom, and birch trapdoor to act like a calendar. And that's it for this room. So that's what it should look like. And let's move on to the 2 rooms of the tower to finish off the interior. All right, so let's start off in this room right here. So just up these stairs, And we're actually going to start off by placing some netherwort blocks. So one of them will go in this corner here, and then one will go 1 block away from this corner. And we can actually surround this one with some spruce trapdoors, and this one as well. Except for this corner here, we'll have a spruce slab, and right there as well, with a spruce trapdoor on this ledge right here. Now we can place 2 brewing stands in these corners with a flower pot right there and a crimson root there. Then we can place another shelf up here. So 2 blocks there. Then you just have to be on the top of the block. So perfect. And now if you have a skull of any kind, you want to flex on your friends, put it down here. That, and then you can place another flower pot with some warped roots, maybe in this corner here. Should be it. Now for this corner right here, we can go ahead and take our soul sand, which I put out of my inventory, and our nether warts on top, and then we can close that off as well with some trapdoors like so. Then here we can remove this block. We're actually going to place a cauldron down. Perfect. And then we'll get to the lighting. So you want to go in line with this window, and we're just going to place 3 chains, a lantern. Or let's do 2, and we'll do 1 there. So something like that. Now the last bit of this room will just be some vines that we can actually drop down this, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I'm doing it. You kind of just want to spread these around, especially with the hanging roots and the twisting vines. We can place in some corners or some nooks that will fit. So something like this here, maybe another one there, maybe one in this corner. So it's really up to you where you want these to go. You might have to shear the creeping vines so that it doesn't keep growing all the way to the floor. Something like this, just to really put the atmosphere out. And then the last touch will be some red carpet, which we'll place in this kind of triangular shape right here. All right, so now we're at the top of the tower, and this is just following up these stairs. Let's start off with putting our enchantment table down. So we're going to go with the last line of this window, and we're just going to center ourselves with this wall. So right here. And now we're going to build around this. So let's go back to these stairs. We're going to place 3 jungle wood trapdoors like that. An oak stair right there. And we're just going to fill up this back area with some planks. Now here, we're going to do a trapdoor here, here, right here. So something like that. We're actually going to add another. Yeah, perfect. So the next step is to grab our bookshelves, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the back there. Another 6 right here. And then over there, we're just going to do 3 like so. And then back here, you can place a plank right there with an empty or a chiseled bookshelf. Just like that. Then up here as well, just for some book storage, really, more than anything. Back here, we're just going to fill these corners up just so that mobs don't spawn back there. And now we are going to grab our spruce slabs, and we're going to do some shelves. So we're going to go to the blocks above these rows. We're actually going to grab something like this and take our spruce trapdoors, just like that. And then we can actually place some bookshelves or some chiseled ones. It's really up to you at this point. They don't really affect the enchantment table. On this side here, we're going to do the same thing by creating some shelves. So we'll grab our spruce slabs and we'll place one on the top half of this block here and one on the top half of this block there. And then you can place either a bookshelf or a chiseled bookshelf on these two areas over there. Now we can place a grindstone here, an anvil back here, and then over here we can actually place a chest so you can store either your lapis or some books or some stuff that you've been meaning to enchant for a while. Now let's go and decorate and put our light fixtures for this ceiling. So we're going to start off by grabbing some leaves, some glass, some candles, and our flint and steel. So we'll start off by putting some layers of glass pane, or some glass blocks. So we'll fill up this bottom layer. So. It's going to get a bit tricky, but essentially you want to skip every block and leave yourself obviously a way down. So we're going to skip one block and then we'll do the same thing. So something like this. I want to fall down. Perfect. So our one block gap is right here. Come on. Below. There we go. Just something like this. And now we're going to start placing some candles. So I just have white candles and I'm going to place around 4. I'm going to light these up. I'm going to go up a floor. Here you can take out these torches. Something like this. And then we'll do the same thing. So we can place maybe 3 down this time. And you try not to place them at the same spot that another candle is. So I wouldn't place one here since there's one down here. We're going to light these up as well. And you really do this until you reach the top of the tower here. So this will be the last level for me. I'm just going to place one down here. That'll be good enough. And then we can close these off. So right here, here we already have some, so that's good. And then on the bottom one, I'm just going to place 5 of them. Should be 5. Perfect. There we go. So now we can close this off, and it kind of gives you the feeling that you're looking up into a sky. Now, if you're not satisfied with how these look, you can always go up there and place some more down if you want. It's not really the end of it. And then the final thing for the interior of this entire house is we're just going to place some leaves down just to decorate this area a little bit more, make it feel a little bit more whimsical. You know what I mean? So just something like this. It doesn't have to be exactly, again, the way that I do it. But, you know, just to give off the vibe of like magic, I guess, especially with like a ceiling like this. But yeah, that's about it. So this will conclude the interior of this house. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content like this. That's it for me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.